The old red barn stood on the edge of town, a looming shadow against the horizon. Its once vibrant red paint had long since faded, peeling away to reveal the weathered wood beneath. The barn seemed to hold its breath as if waiting for something or someone to disturb its slumber. It had stood there for generations, a silent sentinel to the town's history. The barn had witnessed the passage of time from the bustling days of harvest to the quiet, lonely nights. It was a relic of a bygone era, a testament to the hard work and perseverance of those who had come before. Locals whispered tales of its past, of strange and unsettling occurrences within its weathered walls. They spoke in hushed tones as if the barn itself could hear their words. Stories of ghostly apparitions and unexplained noises were passed down from one generation to the next, each tale more chilling than the last. Some spoke of a farmer who had met a gruesome end within its depths, his anguished cries forever echoing in the wind. They said his spirit still lingered, trapped within the barn, unable to find peace. On stormy nights when the wind howled through the cracks in the walls, some claimed they could hear his mournful wails. Others told of shadowy figures that could be glimpsed through the dusty windows, their eyes burning with an unnatural light. These figures were said to be the spirits of those who had perished in the barn, their restless souls forever bound to the place of their demise. The sight of these glowing eyes was enough to send shivers down the spine of even the bravest soul. Whatever the truth, one thing was certain. The old barn was a place of fear, a place to be avoided. Its ominous presence cast a long shadow over the town, a constant reminder of the dark secrets it held. Few dared to venture near, and those who did often regretted it. But for a group of friends, the lure of the unknown proved too strong to resist. Drawn by the thrill of adventure and the promise of uncovering the barn's mysteries, they set out one fateful night. Armed with flashlights and a sense of bravado, they approached the barn, unaware of the horrors that awaited them within its shadowy depths.
You sure about this, man? This place is seriously creepy.
Come on, don't be such a scaredy cat. It's just an old barn. What's the worst that could happen?
The air inside the barn was heavy and still, thick with the scent of decay and the weight of countless forgotten seasons. The walls, once sturdy and full of life, now stood as mere shadows of their former selves, crumbling and rotting away. The floor, covered in a thick layer of dust, seemed to whisper tales of the past with every step. Dust motes danced in the faint rays of sunlight that pierced the gaps in the boarded-up windows, illuminating cobwebs that hung like macabre decorations from the rafters. The light, though weak, brought a strange sense of beauty to the decay, casting long shadows that seemed to move and breathe with a life of their own. The friends' laughter died down as they took in their surroundings, their senses heightened by the oppressive atmosphere. Each creak of the old wood, each rustle of unseen creatures sent shivers down their spines. They exchanged uneasy glances, the initial excitement of exploring the abandoned barn giving way to a growing sense of dread. The silence was deafening, broken only by the sound of their own breathing and the steady drip of water from a leak in the roof. The rhythmic dripping seemed to echo through the vast emptiness, amplifying the sense of isolation. It was as if the barn itself was alive, watching and waiting.
Hello. Is anyone there?
There was no reply, only the silence, deeper and more profound now, pressing in on them like an unseen weight. The barn seemed to hold its breath, the air thick with anticipation. Every corner, every shadow felt like it was hiding secrets, waiting to be uncovered. The friends stood still, their hearts pounding as the silence enveloped them completely.
Did you feel that?
It's freezing in here.
As they ventured deeper into the barn, the air grew noticeably colder, sending a shiver down their spines. A sudden gust of wind rattled the loose boards that covered the windows, sending a cascade of dust and debris raining down on them.
It's just the wind.
Even he couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. Something was watching them from the shadows. The hair on the back of their necks stood on end as they felt a presence, unseen but undeniably there, moving among them. A sudden noise, soft but distinct, cut through the silence. It sounded like a whisper coming from the far end of the barn, near a pile of old hay bales.
What was that?
I don't know, but I don't like it.
The friends froze, their hearts pounding in their chests. They listened intently, but the sound was not repeated. Their eyes were drawn to the pile of hay bales, where the shadows seemed to deepen and writhe, as if something was trying to conceal itself from their view. The friends exchanged uneasy glances, their bravado from earlier completely gone. They decided to leave, to put as much distance between themselves and this place as possible.
We need to get out of here.
As they turned to go, they heard it again. Footsteps, slow and deliberate, coming from the direction of the hay bales. They whirled around to face the sound, their eyes scanning the shadows, their breaths catching in their throats. The footsteps stopped. For a moment, there was silence, broken only by the frantic beating of their own hearts. Then a blood-curdling scream pierced the air, followed by the sound of something heavy crashing to the floor. The remaining friends, paralyzed with fear, stood frozen in place for a heartbeat, their minds racing with the terror of what they had just witnessed. The barn, once a place of innocent exploration, had turned into a nightmare. They didn't dare look back, didn't dare to see what had become of their friend. The darkness seemed to swallow the barn whole, leaving only an ominous silhouette against the night sky.
Whispering, "Leave this place before it's too late."
The old red barn stood silent once more, its secrets kept safe within its weathered walls. The paint, once vibrant, now peeled away like the layers of forgotten memories. The laughter and chatter of the friends were gone, replaced by an eerie silence that seemed to amplify the whispers of the wind. The barnyard, now overgrown with weeds, looked like a scene from a ghost story. Some say the old barn is haunted by the spirits of those who met their end within its walls, their tormented souls forever bound to the site of their demise. The ghostly mist that sometimes appears is said to be the breath of these lost souls. Others say it is a place of pure evil, a vortex of negative energy that feeds on the fear of those foolish enough to enter. The very air around the barn feels thick with malevolence. Whatever the truth, one thing is certain. The old barn on the edge of town is a place to be avoided, a place where darkness reigns and nightmares come to life. The townsfolk whisper about it in hushed tones, warning anyone who will listen to stay far away. The barn's reputation as a place of dread is well earned, and its shadow looms large over the town, a constant reminder of the unknown horrors that lie within.